Fam, we are live.
Good people.
You know what it is. Well, at least on YouTube. Let's see what Facebook is about. And definitely looks like we're live on Facebook now. So
People.
you know what it is.
1,000 apologies for the tardiness, but we are here now.
You know what it is.
Shout out to the sponsors, Drum Tracks app. Download the app if you want to stream tracks for free. It's also free to download the app on any mobile device.
Come on.
Not on a laptop, not on a computer.
Yeah, it's not a desktop application. It's a mobile
application, mobile app. So we got phones, we have tablets, we have iPads.
We do.
Definitely.
Well, I don't have an iPad, but you can use it on yours.
You can use it on yours. Subscribe $10 a month to get access to all of the features on the app.
Yes.
Or $100 a year, which means you get 2 months free every single year.
Or if you want to, you can just go pay $125 a month to go take drum lessons in your local city. But if that sounds like a lot of money,
I thought you was gonna say $125 to pay us.
No, but I mean that's how much drum lessons really go for. But man, we got so much on the apps, like over 300 video lessons, content that you can definitely grow from, no matter what stage. Because sometimes it's not just about becoming faster. Sometimes this is about inspiring creativity and getting ideas and things that you didn't know that you could do, that were possible, or just learning new patterns and breaking your old habits. Like all that stuff is it's available on the app for $9.99 a month. I mean, I don't know if that price is gonna make it into 2020, but in 2019, listen.
I would say this: the best way to break your habits is to quit drums.
Wow,
you won't have those habits anymore.
Huh?
You won't have habits.
Well, you will, because if you habitually suck at the drums and you stop playing, you are actually feeding that habit.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you are.
You're quitting.
Which is the ultimate habit of being terrible at the drums. No, but at the end of the day, also, for those of you guys who are looking for some dope music to play along to practice with, to make videos with for your content online and all that, you know what it is. Drum Tracks app, 150 tracks. I have been working on new tracks. I'm about to upload some new tracks to the app on Monday of next week. So yeah, that's where we're at, man.
Shout out to everybody that's in here now. Hit that like button.
You know what it is, because we get
any time. There's more people in here than there are likes. So.
And we're adamantly against that. So we got 4 people on the Facebook side, but no one said anything yet. On YouTube, though, we're gonna shout out Marcus Kemp. He says he's in here. You know what it is. Ivan Heredia says, "Turn up, baby."
Okay.
Jazz Drummer 1 says, "What's popping, coaches?" What's good, fam? You know what it is. Ashley Acoustic says, "What's up?" Jazz the Drummer says, "My mic is hot. Thanks for letting me know that. Is it louder? Is it like distorting?" He said, "My mic." Oh, okay. Is my mic distorting, or am I just talking louder than Sticks is? I'm wondering. I'm curious.
Where are we at? Look on the.
He says distorting. Cool. Let me turn on the preamp. Well, let's see.
Like cranked.
Am I still distorting, or am I good?
So he started the video. He sound like this.
Am I still distorting, or am I good?
Oh man! Wow.
Well, in the meantime, Charles Gray, he says, "I'm good." Charles Gray says, "What's good?" Shout out to Drums Token. Yep. Let's get into it, man. Today's oh, wait a minute.
Facebook side.
Benedek. Yeah, Benedek. He said, "My mic is bad. It was distorting. It's good now." Cool. Well, we got the levels right. That's what y'all here for, to help us out. We help each other. Turn up a bit. Wait, so now my mic is too low? Is that what you're saying, Ivan?
You wasn't prepared.
What are you talking about?
We're about to talk about preparation. This video is about preparing for a gig, ain't it?
I think it happens to do with like how close, if I'm like talking like this or if I'm talking like this. Vast difference. One Love, One Heart, shout out to him or her, whoever that is, says they asked a question though before we get in. They said, "What happened to Drumfield Friday?"
What happened to my paycheck?
Wow. It is quiet.
Another season will be coming out first week of January.
You know what it is.
Through the 4th week of February.
Yeah, we kind of have this content
3rd week of February
scheme and how we're going to release content on YouTube for you guys as well. Because we're making content for the app as well for the paid users, and they kind of do take priority because they are paying us, and we are here to over deliver. And on the YouTube side and social media and whatnot, we do have plans on how we're going to roll it out. We'll be doing them in seasons. You'll get a season of Drum Fill Friday and a season of some other stuff. Hopefully by the end of the year, you'll be well seasoned.
Yeah, well seasoned. Glory.
And we'll get it together. Marcus Kim says this topic is right on time. So let's get straight into it.
Preparation.
Man, what you know about it?
I don't prepare.
You don't prepare for gigs?
I just show up.
Like that, huh?
And I play.
That's what you do at rehearsals?
That's what I do.
Is that why you don't have any gigs anymore? Because you were just telling me how the day you were.
I quit. Oh.
He said, I just quit all of my gigs.
So what I do, number one, to prepare for gigs, you have to prepare for the rehearsal.
It's quiet. See, because there's a bunch of things that you got to prepare for.
You have to go over the music. You have to know the stuff. This is just one aspect. There is the whole being professional, being on time.
Yeah.
By on time meaning, hey, we're drummers. If you have to load in gear, you're probably gonna have to show up before the piano player or the bass player or the guitar player because they have, their axe and an amp. We have 3-4 trips from the vehicle to the gig. Now, if you happen to be...
So you're not just talking about learning, you're talking about even prepping on how you're going to load your gear.
Yeah, all that.
So you can be on time.
All that.
And the whole... Listen, it is a lot of preparation when you think about it.
I live it.
Me too. But here's the thing. Tell me about a time. I want to hear about a time how you came up with this process that you have streamlined now, because I know you have a process like, okay, gig tomorrow, load up the night before, whoop, stuff is already in the car. All I gotta do is hop in the car, back out the garage, and I'm good, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah. So like, what? Give me something of some time when that wasn't the case. How you actually learned that this is what you need to do to prepare for a gig, just to be on time. We're just talking about preparing to be on time to the gig.
Well. I can't remember specifically which gig it was, but when I did not have a house with a garage.
Yeah, you can't leave gear in the car.
Can't leave gear in the car. I lived in an apartment complex. And I was like, I'll go to the gym, come back, eat, shower, do what we got to do, load up the drums, and then hop in the car and dip set. So the only issue with that is I did not give myself any leadway time as far as, hey, what happens if you're on your way back from wherever it's at? Maybe it's not the gym, maybe it's the bank, maybe it's a morning meeting, whatever it is. And you just so happen to run into a light that just goes extra long.
Yep.
And then the light after that, someone cut somebody off and slow traffic down.
And now you catching reds every stop.
Every stop. So
you're when it rains, it pours.
My Brody. Okay. So that 12-minute ride that you normally on every other day, it is always 12 minutes.
Right.
It's now 20. But you don't look at it as that bad.
Right.
You only lost 8 minutes.
Right.
But that domino effect tends to happen with all the other things that you're doing in the morning. Like, okay, now I'm finna eat this food and yada, yada, yada. Now you're eating this food, but you're checking Instagram. And
you just happen to go over 2 minutes than you were supposed to. And now you're 10 minutes behind.
You're 10 minutes behind.
It's quiet.
Same thing. Take a shower. Okay, you forgot. You was in there thinking too long or whatever. You was in the water too long. You lost 5 minutes there.
You had your phone because it's waterproof and you were on the videos in the shower.
Brody, listen, all jokes aside.
Now you was in the shower for 20 minutes.
Hey, I don't know nothing about that, family. I don't know what you speak of. Then there's the aspect of you didn't factor in if you had to use the bathroom.
Oh man.
Okay. I mean, stand up or sit down. Don't matter. You didn't factor it in.
That spaghetti didn't came back to bite you.
Bro, it didn't came back. And so now you done lost 7 minutes there.
Yeah.
And so over the course of time, which it seemed like a bunch of small minutes here and there, is like, well,
you're an hour behind.
Yeah, you're easily hour behind. And so when you're on your way to the gig, especially if you're driving to gigs, people who are there, whether that's the promoter, the producer of the show, it could be a band manager, it could be another band member that made it there early. Now they're texting you or calling you, hey man, what's the ETA? And you got to sit there like,
And that's how you know how it is. Oh yeah, man, we just hit the freeway, meaning I'm still putting on my socks.
Family. I didn't even put the shoes on yet. You feel me?
But you don't tell them that.
You don't tell them that. And then
because your plan is now to try to catch up to make time up by speeding.
Yeah, you try to speed, but you just so happen to get on the freeway, and there just happens to be 4 accidents on today. There was no accidents yesterday.
And you would have missed all those accidents if you were an hour earlier or
30
minutes earlier.
They happened just now. You know what I mean? Like, yo, if you would have just got out the bed or left a little bit earlier like you were supposed to, then you would be on time. So
crazy thing about that though is that we recently did a gig in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And we both left our own houses at the same time. I live closer to exiting the city than you do.
Yeah, about 10-15
minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because I was 10-15 minutes ahead of you, I had no traffic.
0.
You got there like 45 minutes after me.
Truck you.
And I was like, how? How did you get here 30-45 minutes after me? He's like, bro, it was traffic. I was like, I hit none.
I hit nothing.
0 traffic. So the traffic in every city was timed against you.
Everyone.
You left at 6 a.m. I left at 6 a.m.
Right on the dot at 6 a.m.
In fact, I left at 6:04 onto the freeway. And so it wasn't even 15 minutes, it was 11 minutes that changed everything for you.
It was painful. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was
you weren't late, but you weren't there at the time that we were all set.
Yeah. And things like that. That's more of a recent thing. And I planned on I left at 6, so I'm like, okay, cool, I can be there within the time frame. I gave myself the 2-hour time frame. Like I can be there at 8 o'clock. And then when you're parking the car at 8:15, 8:20, still got to load in and set up.
Yeah, you arrived. I'm already set up and everything.
Right. So, and that's what I was saying earlier. Like, the keyboard. You got the keyboard. You don't even bring an amp. So you got your keyboard. You got your laptop.
That's it. Time. Yeah, no.
And the bass player had 1 amp and his axe. So it's like them as drummers, we have to factor in all of that. Now, I did leave at a decent hour, technically, like 6 a.m. to get there. It's really only should take an hour and a half at that time, but I said, let me give myself 2 hours. And I would get there by 8, but I didn't park till 8:15, which is like, what is going on? Because you got there about 7:30.
Yep.
Right.
And we left at the same
right. You
time.
got there at the time that I'm cool. I'm giving myself 2 hours, but I'm probably gonna pull up at 7:30. So we Gucci. But no, it didn't happen that way. So you learn from your mistakes, and those mistakes tend to happen as well. When you know the areas you're driving to, I would say factor in an extra hour as a drummer. So I didn't do that. I factored in an extra 30 minutes. I should have did an extra hour. I should have left at 5:30 just because I probably would have got there dumb early. Yeah. But whatever.
Yeah.
And you have to do that.
And I know that you guys, when you saw the title, you probably thought that we were going to just be talking about how to prepare for the songs that you're playing. We've talked about that slightly in other podcasts, and we can get to that a little bit too. However, there's so many aspects when you're preparing for a gig, that you have to consider, especially if you don't want to end up on these gigs that they're not feeding you on and you're out of town and you don't have any time to eat.
We didn't even talk about stopping to get food,
because you may not have time to eat if you don't prepare for it.
Family, if you don't prepare for your gas tank.
Now, okay, and you have to know yourself, right?
Period.
I know that if I have to leave the house at 6 a.m, meaning I need to get up at 5, or I want to get as much sleep as I can. So of course I'm taking my shower the night before, right? Have my clothes out and ready to go. Or if I'm gonna take a shower that morning, I still have all of my clothes out and ready to go. I don't have to pack anything. Everything is it, because I know that when I wake up at 5, I'm really not getting up till about 5:15. I know that, right? So because
you have a house though, so you have a garage where you can have stuff already packed up.
Correct. We live in an area where most people have garages.
Yeah.
But if you, and I know there's some people who, like, if you live on the East Coast, if you live in New York, like, a garage is not the way that things are done out there on a regular basis.
Non-existent.
I mean, there's some, but it's just not the way things are done in certain areas. But so I have a garage. But even if I didn't have a garage, I would have all of my stuff packed at the door, ready to walk. I do the same thing when I'm taking flights. If I take a flight somewhere, my clothes is packed and my bags are, now I have a garage, they're in the they're already in the car. Or if I'm not driving to the airport and I'm Ubering, the bags are at the door. Everything needs to be done so that when I get up, I can just walk to the door.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and then
That part.
then you can get up out of there. It literally, and you may not feel like going to get gas the night before, but you will thank yourself in the morning that you did. Because when that thing happens where you're actually leaving spot right on time and you don't have an extra minute.
You don't have it, bro. That's if you are on time, you are late.
Hey, so you don't have that extra minute, but you already got gas. But if you don't have gas, that can easily, especially in the morning, be a 15-minute ordeal. And don't make it to where you actually have to drive away from the freeway to get gas, because that's the closest gas station to where you live. Like
that part.
It's yeah. And then you're gonna be mad when you look at the gas prices anyway, and you don't want to start your day off angry. So
listen, put in there like, what the
it was like, because if you would have got gas last night, it would have been cheaper. You know that.
That's what you think. And that's what it is. So yeah, you do have to prepare for the gas thing. You got to prepare for the food thing.
Man. Because have you ever been on a gig where you did not prepare for the food and you were just hungry until 8 p.m. that night?
Hungry till 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And my head was throbbing. And then on the way home, you just make, this is before I switched to eating vegan, but on the way home, you just make the poorest decision. You're like, the first place we see, I don't care what it is.
Like, bro, I'm buying hot dogs out the gas station.
Cool. I've done it. I've pulled up to AM PM, grabbed a cheeseburger and 2 hot dogs, knowing this is some bullshit. Like, Brody, I mean, that ain't even, it's worse than food. Hot dogs is, I mean, you are eating just.
But it's not, but it's if you're going to get hot dogs, you definitely don't want them from the gas station.
Oh.
And the cheeseburgers that they sell you two for, or they give you you can get 2 cheeseburgers and a hot dog free for $3.33 and all of that situations, bro. It'd be the worst. It don't even taste good.
It's rat poison,
like,
man.
if I'm gonna eat food that's horrible for me, I at least want it to taste good.
They literally killed the rats outside the gas station, skinned them,
hey,
and then cooked them.
The Shell station though, by my house actually sells this pizza that they cook. There's like it's like a separate restaurant inside of the, it's like, some restaurants. I don't know if you guys have ever taken a road trip and you've driven around the country and you stop at some truck stops, there will be an actual restaurant.
Yep.
Like in LA, for anybody that's in LA, in North Hollywood area, there's a Mexican restaurant called Cilantro's inside of like I think it's a Chevron. Or maybe a Valero. It's a gas station though.
Yeah.
And there's a spot called Cilantro's in there, and that joint is fire. Like,
nice.
Now, if that's what you got to stop and see on the way home, bruh, you were winning the game. But we're not talking about that.
We was on the way.
AM PMs 3 for $3.33.
We was on the way to a gig in Fresno, and Fresno's a 3-hour drive from here. And me and the bass player for our band was on our way, but we was so hungry and had to use the restroom. So we pulled up to this gas station, used the restroom. We was already late because of traffic and what have you. I mean, the event ended up starting late, and so technically we was on time, but we didn't have a real sound check. Like we was tardy. It was a little unprofessional looking. But we are on our way. Pull up to this service station. I don't even know what it was called, and the only option was this flat dry pizza. That's the only food option they had.
They didn't have like bags of chips or nothing like that.
I mean, they had chips, but we didn't.
For as far as like hot food.
Yeah, hot food. We didn't have. All they had was the pizza. And I looked at Chris. I was like, "Fam, you want to go half on the pizza?" he was like, "Sure, man. I'm down. I'm so hungry." We went $2.50 each. It was $5 for the pizza. It
was horrible,
bro. As soon as you bit into it, you was like, Give me my $5 back, fam.
Why did I do that?
Like, why? I mean, but it served its purpose. It cured the hunger for the moment. And I don't think we got fed at that venue. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and then you eat on the way back. I think that was the gig too, coming back, where I was riding with a guitar player.
Maybe.
And
sure.
I was with B, man, and we was coming back. I was like, B, man, you good? He's like, yeah, man, I'm good. I'm up. I doze off. And I'm asleep, and all of a sudden I'm woken up because and I'm like, yo, I look around I'm awake and he's asleep.
So he driving.
He's driving. I'm in the passenger seat. We're on the side of the road. Car's finna run into the bushes. I wake up before he does. And I said, bro, just pull over, man. It's cool. I said we can't both do this.
I'll drive, bro. It's good,
I said,
man.
it's cool, man. We stopped at a gas station, and the craziest thing, he was awake the whole way back after that. He was awake the whole way back after that. So that's another thing to prepare for. If you know you're finna have a long day where you got to drive somewhere and then you got to drive back late.
The drive back, that's it.
Get some sleep.
Because it's a 3-hour drive there, and then a 3-hour drive
back. Get
some
sleep. And if you need to bring a pillow because you need to pull over somewhere, prepare for that. These are just the things that we have learned being on these gigs, man.
Facts. Stuff that we learned on the gig.
Yeah.
Because when people told us about preparation, they told us just about learning songs and just getting to the gig and making sure you knock the music out.
Yeah.
Like, yo, but fam.
Right. Because a lot of people, you know, if you're playing a church gig, that's okay. You learn the music, you just show up, you play. You know what I'm saying? Of course, if you got to bring cymbals because the church doesn't have cymbals or whatever, you know, you want to prepare for that and show up on time or show up early so you can set your cymbals up, whatever the case is. But when you got to do these travel gigs,
man,
and we're not talking about the ones with the treatment like we talked about in the last podcast.
Facts.
We're talking about the ones that don't give you the treatment where you got to drive up to 3 hours to get to the gig. You know, it's paying decent. And don't get it twisted. Some of these gigs that don't give you the treatment pay as well as the gigs that do give you the treatment. You just don't get the treatment.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
You know, some people are wanting to be on the road and flying around the country and getting the treatment, but you're coming home with $400 for that gig.
Brody, some are making only $300.
Yeah.
For the treatment gig.
For the treatment gig. They're getting flown out.
Bruh.
They got the hotels is paid for.
All that.
Per diem.
Yeah.
But you come home just as if you played a gig locally. And so, you know, you're going out, you're driving somewhere 2 hours away, you're gonna come home with $500-$600, right? Whatever the case is, maybe $400, maybe $300, whatever you agree to. Still, you're at home. Those drives, it's more than just playing that you got to prepare for. That's all I'm saying.
It's 25 people watching on YouTube and 8 likes. I don't understand the mathematics. Y'all ain't prepared. Hit the like button, man. Stop playing.
Wait a minute. Blake the Great said so pretty much about the pizza. He said so pretty much y'all ate the bread that they used to wipe their hands with back in the Bible days.
Oh, the manna that they used. Hey, listen, I just know the pizza was awful, but you didn't taste it, so I don't know if it was as bad as what you thought New York pizza was, because you have been clowning New York pizza since you had it. And every New Yorker, every person he talks to that says that he explains how bad the pizza is, every New Yorker says the same thing. They go, well, what kind of pizza did you have, and where was it from? That's the wrong. Nah, you ain't got to go. You got to go to my spot over here. And I keep telling all these people, like, yo, you don't understand. He's gonna go to your spot and be like, yo, this ain't pizza.
Why would I do that though?
This is cheese toast.
Well, only because they don't believe in sauce. If they
and the bread be thin, like
listen, I'm not mad at the thin bread. If your pizza doesn't have any sauce, bro, then we're just talking about cheese toast. What else is it? What else is it?
Cheese toast and oil on top.
Bro, have you had cheese toast?
No, I've never had cheese toast.
Oh, I have. Cheese toast is actually good.
Oh,
it could be really good. You just have to. Maybe
cheese
that's
toast.
Like, I don't know. We ate cheese toast.
We had butter toast because
of course
we couldn't afford.
That's where it starts.
You know, when we run out of jelly, can't afford to go get none.
Well, you put butter and jelly, right?
If you have both, yes.
Oh, okay.
But them days where, hey, listen, it was light this month.
Have you had butter sugar toast?
No,
really.
We weren't allowed to touch the sugar.
Oh,
my dad was against sugar.
Got you.
Like it was. Oh no, I mean, and if he grabbed sugar, I mean, he's like, here's a pinch. There you go. He's like, he'll let you do honey.
So okay, so have you? Okay, he was against the refined. Have you had
sugar.
Butter honey toast?
No, I've just had.
You've been missing out. As an adult, you should try it.
Peanut butter and honey.
Oh yes,
sandwiches
all day.
PB&H
all day. We used to take peanut butter and put it in a bowl and put the honey on the peanut butter and stir it in the bowl. That's how we did it. And then we put it on the bread, or you just eat the peanut butter like that with the honey in it. And I don't know. I don't understand how that's not like a product that's on the market right now.
That part. Also, with some of these preparation gigs, taking homemade snacks like that, because the peanut butter and honey sandwich is a lot more fulfilling than just, you know, a small bag of chips.
Yeah.
And so y'all can put some of that in the car and be, I mean, it may look a little weird, but some of these gigs that you go where you have to drive far away, you got to be there at 2 p.m., 3 p.m., maybe 4 p.m. But you don't play till 8. So you got downtime to go ahead and make your sandwich, eat it, clean up after yourself, wash your hands so you ain't got no stickiness, and you got plenty of time. You got 4 hours to just do nothing but wait.
I feel like on this topic we can go for like a whole bunch of layers. We might do it too as far as preparation, because we just talked about preparing
to be on time
to get to a gig, and we've gone in for 25 minutes.
Bruh.
There's the how we prepare for music, and how you actually, like, have you ever had to learn a bunch of songs with short notice, not because you didn't prepare and now it's last minute, but you just got a gig and they're like, yo, it's 6 songs you don't know and it's tomorrow. Can you do it? Or it's 6 songs and it's 3 days from now
and it's not charted.
What's the best ways to go about all we'll talk about that, and that's a whole nother podcast, man. But look, let's get to some of these comments. Jazz the drummer says about the peanut butter and honey sandwich, you need to add some bananas to that. And actually, Bishop, I agree.
Family, I'm so hungry right now. I haven't eaten at all today. I got some peanut butter and apple butter in the refrigerator. So
apple butter. See, I don't know too many people who know about the apple. Have you had apple butter toast?
No.
Listen.
Wait. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now when people make toast back in the day,
I didn't understand it at first.
Yep. Some people, like, when you made toast, did you make it in a toaster or did you make it in the oven?
We had a toaster, but recently
we did it in the oven, bro.
Well, recently I've had it out of a toaster oven.
Okay, that's good too. But we did it. We've done it in this is why I like doing it in the oven when you're making like butter toast.
Yeah,
is because you put the butter on the toast before you toast it.
Mm-hmm.
And that joint melts into the bread.
Mm-hmm.
Something special.
Yeah,
it's different than just putting cold butter on top of your toast.
Yeah.
And so when you do the honey, you do the butter honey, you put the butter on the toast first, then you put the honey on top of the butter and the bread, and you put it in the oven. My God, on today, I feel an anointing. But
honey is the nectar of the gods.
You can do the same thing with your apple butter. It kind of bakes into the bread. But you can't do that with a toaster, man.
I'm gonna try that.
Blake the Great says oven toast is different, and he said it hit different. It do. You right? Listen,
my God,
it hit way different. I don't know what they were trying. I know what they were trying to do when they came up with the toaster, and it's a decent idea. You feel me? I'm not mad. But that is just what it
faster.
is.
That's what it was.
Meg Dahlia says, "What about drums? Food Channel now." Listen, y'all don't eat.
Fair. You ain't ever been hungry on a gig?
Period.
Listen, this is the stuff we had to learn that no one taught us. No one told us about. You go to a gig and you underperform because you have a throbbing migraine from not eating.
And you didn't eat because you were running late because you didn't prepare, which is what we're talking about today. And then you try to speed and you get a speeding ticket and you get pulled over and you're mad at the cop.
Bruh,
pulling you over because he's hating on you. When no, you were speeding because you were running late. So actually, you got a ticket because you did not prepare because you're lazy, and that's just the way it works. This is how I've had to talk to myself. Like, bro, the cop wasn't hating. You were going 100. Well, I wasn't going 100, but you were going. I might not have been going 90 like he said, but I was going 84, which is still 10 miles or close to 10 miles above the speed limit.
It's 20 because it's 65 on the highway.
Depending on the highway you're on in California.
Oh, well.
But
the 5 is different, but yes.
But at the end of the day, it's just kind of like, okay, I won't have to speed if I'm on time. And it's so much less stressful.
And to piggyback on what you're saying on why this food thing is important, I was watching it's called Cold as Balls, literally.
Oh, yeah, with
Kevin Hart. And he interviewed Chris Paul, and one of the questions he asked was, what was one of the most influential things you've learned in the NBA when you got to LA? What's the biggest thing that you learned?
Asking who?
Chris Paul.
Okay. When
he got traded to the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what he said? He goes, when I got there, Grant Hill was the OG of the team. He was the team veteran. And all he talked about was diet. He talked about, what am I putting in my body? He didn't talk about basketball per se.
Right.
Where it's like, let me give you some wisdom on how to have a longer career.
Yeah.
Your diet. Right? So when you say, hey, man, are we going to talk about drums? Let me give you some wisdom on how to further your drumming career. Make sure that you are prepared to be on time. Make sure that you eat. Make sure that you drink. Make sure you're hydrated, because some people get dehydrated. Oh yeah, your muscles lock up while you're playing. The food thing, we already talked about it. You have headaches and your feel is not there. Like it doesn't feel good when you're playing because you have a migraine. And so you need to eat, man. You need to be prepared no matter what. Bring snacks, eat early. You actually have to get I was going to say this earlier. I'll say it now. You have to get on a strict time schedule on the day of the gig. And that may go into the night before the gig. It may say, okay, listen, by 8 p.m. the night before the gig, I have to have ABC done. By 10 p.m., I have to have blah, blah, blah done so that I can be asleep by 11 p.m. and I'm up at whatever time it is, 6, 7, whatever it is.
Because this is where I think of it. I asked myself that morning, the day before the gig, what can I do today to make tomorrow easier?
Facts.
And if you don't do that, you'll be like, man, I just don't know how the day got away from me. No, you just didn't prepare for it.
You didn't prepare.
And you can know. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And learn, and it's not gonna be perfect. You're gonna have times where you thought you prepared, but you didn't think of everything.
Like me going to the Bay, man. God dog it.
That was in the morning. There was just, you just now know that you have to leave 15 to 30 minutes earlier than everyone else because of at the area of the city that you live in. So trying to leave the city takes longer for you and for our bass player.
Bruh. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And for our guitar player now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Facts.
I'm the only one that's close
You're right on the edge.
Of like, okay, yeah, if we trying to get out the city, it's like one exit for me. 2 exits. I'm already at the
I hate you.
We at the way. But that is what it is, man. We got some more comments. Let's run through them. Justin Meyer says, how do y'all feel about musicians unions? I've never been a part of the musicians union. I don't know too much about it. I've known some musicians who are about it. Who have done it. I don't know how active people are in it today. I'm sure there are musicians that are in the musicians union today. I don't know how if you still have, do you have to live in LA to, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I've never been a part of one neither. I know that there was a musician in Fresno that hit me and was trying to start a union chapter in Northern California, middle and Northern California, like LA. And he asked me, he said, man, what you know about it? I said, I don't know. I don't even know how they work. That's how much I don't know. I've never done any research to know the ins and outs of what it is.
We might be able to talk to some of the homies who may be in it though, because I wonder if some of the Bay Area homies are in it with some of the gigs that they do. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so sorry we can't help you with that, man.
We don't know the answer to that yet. The bananas, oven toast hit different. Neo Soul asks, where are we located?
Hey, whoa, pause. We're in Northern California.
For sure. Christopher Fields, I'm always hungry on the gig. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be though.
You don't have to, bro.
Bring a box of Cheez-Its. Bring
fam.
Some what's it call it? Pretzels or something.
They listen, they say in our community, in our culture,
it's quiet, that
when you eat food, you get the itis and you want to just
that depends on what you eat though.
It does depend on what you eat. Try to take care of your body first before a gig and watch how different you play. Watch how relaxed you are. I promise you don't have to go crazy with the food, but something simple as making sure you eat something for breakfast, something for lunch, and then maybe a snack before the gig. If they're feeding you, you're Gucci because they're gonna bring.
Yeah, but some of us like I'll say for myself, especially back in the day, something for breakfast was a nice sized meal. Something for lunch was just as big.
Okay.
And my snack was probably one of your breakfast meals.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Okay.
But you got to know your body though.
But you can prepare for that. You can prepare to have that lunch.
Itis. That's what you're gonna end up with if you eat like I used to eat. You're gonna prepare for the itis, bro.
Don't eat like that.
Yeah.
Bro. Just something simple.
Yeah.
Bro. So sausage and whatever you eat. Sausage and eggs.
Yeah.
Cool. And then for lunch, something that's the size of a Subway sandwich. Cool. And then for your snack, PB and H. You know what I mean? All day long.
That's a PB.
Or go stop and grab you some Chipotle, man. $7.
Some Chipotle.
Boom. And watch how you play.
Some of that Chipotle.
And make sure y'all drink a lot of water, man.
BB Rimshot says, go ahead, Bishops. Listen, don't pass me the mic.
I'm telling you, drummers are cramping because of lack of water.
Wow. Now you got to use Jazz Drummer said, now you got to use gig money to pay that ticket, man. Facts.
fam. Or how about that time we did the gig and you and the homie.
Oh, okay.
You and the homie. No, this is so we're in town.
Yeah.
But him and the homie, we got there so late. They got there so late. We had to set up. And we didn't even know what the gig entailed. Luckily, the homie knew a bunch of songs and he taught you the songs at the gig. But anyway,
still played terrible.
But we was awful. It doesn't matter. Here's the thing, though. They were so late. There was no parking, so they parked in the handicap spot.
Told. I said, "Hey, for unloading, how can we?"
Okay, you unloaded in the handicap.
They said, "Just pull up in the handicap and unload. It's cool, bro. We got tickets."
Yeah, there was like $450 tickets,
which I didn't pay within a certain period of time. That turned into a $900 ticket for me. I didn't pay that ticket for like 2 years.
Jeez,
I did eventually got paid, but man, when you're 20 years old and you're broke trying to do a gig for $150, you get a $900 ticket for unloading in the zone that they told you to.
Listen, it's not you unloaded, but you stayed there.
No, I didn't.
Hey, well, listen,
I did not. I unloaded, and when I came back from unloading,
so let this be a lesson: never unload in handicap,
no matter what they tell you.
No matter what you do, handicap, fire lane.
If they say just pull right here in the handicap lane, it's cool. You look at them in their face and you give them the finger, and then you say "F you" in your face.
I would say if there's a security guard on site, and you say, "Hey, can you watch the car? I'm just loading this, load now, watch." Then maybe. Other than that,
that's what he would do.
I said maybe.
That's what he would maybe do that.
Maybe.
I would not.
$900, bro.
Bro, it was horrible.
Oh my gosh. That's rent.
What's it called? Where we at? Benedict says, "I can't think without food."
Facts.
Marcus Kemp says,
I don't
all
even
that
know how
sounds
I'm doing this
good.
podcast right now.
Marcus Kemp says, all that sounds good. Actually, and about learning a bunch of songs, and the gig is tomorrow. That part, I'll be tuning in for that. Yeah, man, come back, check with us on Sunday, 2 p.m. You know what it is. Ashley Acoustic says, facts on food. Jazz the Drummer says, carry some Tums for the calcium. That's vitamins. But I don't know if Tums is for vitamins. Isn't that like a stomach, heartburn?
Tummy ache.
Yeah, almost like a Pepto Bismol, yeah, type thing. BB Rimshot says, "See, I don't eat as much red meat, so I can play drums longer." I mean, I don't know if those things correlate, but they may for you, and so that's okay.
For your body type, yeah.
Yeah, Christopher Field says, about to bring the food truck business to all the local gigs. No hungry musicians will be in my town. Listen, you might actually, if your town does a lot of gigs, you might be winning the game.
Fam, that part. Show up to some of those park festivals, food truck, man, for the band.
Carlo Marcello says, "Hey, Sticks, do you have the PDF for that food diet?"
I'm done.
He needs the PDF, bro. He needs the sticking in awe for that food diet, bro.
Oh man, fam, God, dog it. Oh,
Jazz the Drummer says, "We don't plan to fail, we fail to plan."
I say.
Okay. Wow. You
don't
lost
ever
your
just
mind.
practice speaking in
No.
Neither do I, bro. I don't never do that either. I don't never do that shit.
You are nuts.
I don't never do that shit.
You have lost your mind completely.
Buddy, I don't never be at the house. Just
your life, it's over there. You need to go get it.
There.
Go get your life.
I don't do that stuff.
Okay. Justin Myers, that's perfect. I'm currently in Northern California. Thanks anyway, fam. That's what's up. Seth Jones, bro, I have all the snacks when I'm playing, especially these cover band gigs. That's where you need it at. These cover band gigs, because I don't know of any other gigs outside of cover band gigs.
Check Facebook too, just to make sure there's no comments.
I don't know any other gigs outside of cover band gigs and maybe club gigs that make you play for 3 hours.
Man,
not like you're at the gig for 3 hours, because you're at the gig for like 7 hours, but you play for a literal 3 hours. When you get that set list of 60 songs, 50 songs, and you look at that, you know you're there for 3 hours.
Woo, bro.
Blake the Great says, "So should I work out hours before the gig, or can that affect my playing?" I worked out before gigs. You just can't do one of the things that I did. I remember we had a gig. This was at the when we was playing for a cover band, and it was at the racehorse, the horse racing thing that we were doing. And I did leg day the day before.
He's talking about hours before.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you, I've worked out days before, but I'm just trying to warn you not to do this. So I did this workout on the hip abductor machine, where you do the outsides and the insides. It was part of leg day. And I did this thing where I would do 10 reps, and then add a stack, 10 reps. And I did the whole stack going down and going back up, 10 reps each. But that wasn't it. I actually did it to where I was going inside and did the same thing.
Nah.
On top of the squats, on top of the leg press, on top of, and when I tell you there wasn't a position I can stand, sit, or lay down, I was comfortable in. It was so painful. I literally needed like a pain medication. I've never been that it was the worst experience, and it lasted for like 2 days. But that to have to play a gig that way, oh my goodness, I couldn't focus on anything.
I tend to not try to do workouts on gig days, but if I do workouts on the gig day, usually the gig is further in the night and they're local. Like you ain't got to drive 3 hours. It's like, hey, we playing downtown. We go up at 9 p.m., 8 to 9 p.m. Well, okay, cool. I'll do my full workout in the morning. But if we have like an afternoon situation, a 2 p.m. thing happening, it's like, okay, I'll do my morning workout, but I'm probably not going to push as hard. I'm probably going to even not do as many sets. Like I won't go 5 sets of 10. I'm like, okay, I might do 2 to 3 sets of 10 and just call it, knowing, oh, I can do more. Like I can feel like, oh yeah, this is probably going to be light, but something is better than nothing. So I'm like, yeah, I'll get out of here with 30 reps on each workout, and I'm gonna call it a day. Like today, I knew I was gonna be late because I actually did oversleep. So I was like, okay, we got to get this podcast in. So I ended up shortening my workout. Still got in an hour and a half, but I'm usually there for 2 hours. So I shortened it down to 30. It took 30 minutes out, and it's like it's all good. I'm not feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I didn't.
Right. I mean, you have to come to a place where you accept the reality of what's happening in the day.
Yeah.
And know that you can't win everything all the time. But it's about that pattern of consistency that gets you where you already know the stuff.
Yep.
But the comment on Facebook by JJ McGee was good. And Jamie Fraser just joined. So shout out to him. Shout out to Auntie Sheila who joined in. Shout out to Tom Doublier. I believe it's Doublier because it's Doublier. Or is it Doublier? I think it's Doublier. Let us know, Tom. But JJ McGee says, these kids today. Now, you already know he's finna go on a rant whenever you started saying with these cheering today.
On today.
They don't know about playing shouting music for an hour straight without eating breakfast on Sunday morning. Nutrition is key. See, he sounds like somebody who's been through something. We know about it. Woo! I know about playing shout music for an hour. Matter of fact, and sometimes it's not even on drums, bro. Like even on keys. I remember I played a Sunday night service where I literally played for 2 hours straight, and it's high intensity because they're going in. And there's nothing that wears you out like Sunday morning. Yeah. Like especially if you play like 3 or 4 services like I do.
Man.
There's nothing that wears you out like that. If you don't eat, you will know.
Bro,
you will notice.
When I was over there with the big homie, I remember one service we didn't get out till like 2:30 or 3, something like that. 2:30 or 3.
Because they was going in, huh?
Fam, it started at 11. And that's a church that they'll take some of this new age music
and shout that too.
And they will shout.
We gonna bump on that too. We gonna listen when y'all went to the 4. We gonna turn that 4 and make sure y'all know that he is here.
He's in the room
now.
I mean, we gonna have service like, bro,
because
how did
when
you
the power up, when it comes in the room, Bishop,
bro, I'm like, how did you church this song? This is the black version of CCM.
Because there's nothing that God can't do. My God, on today, you can think that this song is unshoutable.
Oh my God!
But let God get a hold of it. Now, where are we saying?
Back to YouTube.
Yep. The PDF that was hilarious.
That's it.
Blake the Great says, so should I work on? Oh no, that was when we just asked Bill Cosby. I try not to eat too much before a gig so it doesn't upset my stomach, and I'll just drink water right before and during the gig. I actually do that for flights too.
Yeah,
because the worst thing in the world
know your body.
Yes, you got to know your body. The worst thing in the world is to have to use the bathroom on a flight.
You talking about that type of bathroom?
I'm talking about number 2,
or 3, depending on how bad you got to go.
You don't want that on a flight.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't. The bathrooms in a flight are so on an airplane are so small. I don't even like to go pee on the flight because I'm like literally, like I can barely close the door with how wide my shoulders are.
Oh yeah,
and so it's just like.
As a big guy, that's not
yeah,
comfortable.
I'm not like super fat
Man,
guy.
we was
I just
on-
have large, wide shoulders, and it's like I'm in there like this,
Yeah,
trying to get the zipper.
we was on the flight.
Ridiculous. You guys don't I look ridiculous like this?
Okay, stop,
It
bro.
looks ridiculous, doesn't it? It's ridiculous.
Okay, we was on the flight one time, and I was there with my family, and the line was being held up for the bathroom, right? And you could see all the people like getting frustrated, like it's in there so long, somebody's blowing it up, right? And I'm literally next in line. I'm the next one. I can see people behind me, like, and so I'm sitting there looking at whoever's in there, like, man, dang, well, y'all kind of taking too long. It seemed like y'all about to terrorize this bathroom.
They are currently terrorizing the bathroom.
And then they open the door. It's my pops and my nephew, bro. And I just gotta have that look on my face, like, dang it, I can't believe it's one of mine. You know what I mean? Like, I was ready to look at
your nephew was in there blowing it up.
Yeah, my dad took because at that time my nephew was like 6 or 7, young kid, right? Yeah. 6 or 7, and we was flying out of the country, and so my dad took him to the restroom.
Those bathrooms should be bigger on those airplanes for international flights, right?
It should have been, but I don't know what happened with my nephew at that time. But because my dad, obviously at 6 or 7, you know how to use the restroom.
Yeah,
but he came out, Dad, can you, Grandpa, can you come? Can you help? Or whatever happened, I don't know what happened. Right. So my dad was in there, and then when they came out, I had that look like, come on, people, come on out. Then when they came out, I had to look towards the other people like, y'all better not say shift. I'll whoop everybody off on this. I'll beat everybody off on this flight. Y'all better not say shift. Not a god word. Don't say nothing. Like, bruh. I just switched. I went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Wow. Jacque Dixon says, why I experienced the same thing. I got a ticket for parking where instructed on a college campus playing at a jazz night. So I haven't paid that school ticket to this day.
Truck that ticket.
He said, I'm not paying that ticket, bro.
Truck that ticket, bro.
That. Eric Moore, which is not the big homie, but the other Eric Moore that's on here. He says, good people. Fam, what is up? Jacque Dixon says, needless to say, stay away from dairy if you're lactose or beans on a good gig day.
That part.
We can smell you. Hashtag we can smell you.
That part.
Blake the Great says, man, what? I felt like Apollo Creed after he got beat by that Russian dude in Rocky IV, just dead. Auntie Sheila says, plain bathrooms, not enough room to change your mind. Facts.
Bruh, that part. Got to time out, man.
Bill Cosby says, what about people who don't shower for gigs? I say that people who don't shower should not be let into society.
Family.
It is offensive.
Family.
We have to deal with that.
Family. Man, there's some people who just funky.
Man.
Just funk.
Man.
And want to be a
You're like, bro, why do I know that you've been wearing those drawers for 4 days in a row? Because I can smell you. Like that's where it's a problem.
Brody, that's my pet peeve. The smells. I hate the smells.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
I'd rather have a person mess up the music and smell good than be in there killing and smelling horrible.
Listen, there was that gig we played.
Oh, don't throw anybody under the bus.
I'm not.
Don't throw anybody under the bus.
I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. There was a gig that we played, and this is when they're back in the Looney Tunes days. We played a gig, and the guy that was an addition to the band that came and played with us, and he was musty as I don't know what. However, he was eating our other keyboard player.
He was murdering. He was killing.
He was killing, but it was
so funky.
But so was his body odor.
Oh my god,
it was killing. It was terrible. So. I'm just saying all that to say because you say you'd rather have a musician that was terrible but smelled good. But I think that we experienced the other side, and as long as we're not set close to each other.
Well, see, one of the gigs that he played, he didn't smell bad, and that was the gig where he asked what key we was in. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take that. Family, I'll take that. I'm sorry.
He smelled bad. It was bad though. Well, look, yo, we at the end of this here.
Here's the reason why I'll say I'll take that, because you can't fire somebody for smelling bad, but you can fire somebody if they keep messing up on the gig.
Oh, so if they keep messing up you can fire someone for smelling bad.
I mean, you can, but how do you go about? Hey, fam, listen, you
got to take a shower or you can't come back. Like it's simple. I don't understand what's difficult about that.
It's like a professionalism. Hey, fam,
like bro, this is a professional setting, bro. Okay, so if you had a job anywhere, not like even in corporate America, but you can't show up to your McDonald's job musty and smelling like balls and butt. You can't do that. Can you? Can you do that? You can't do that. It's you can't do that. You can't. What you gonna do? Work in a grocery store smelling like that? You're not gonna allow it. They're not. You can't even go get the carts like that.
Balls and butt.
Because it's that. Come on. You know what I'm talking about. Listen, I played sports in high school.
Woo!
And,
bro,
if
this smell like locker room, bro.
If you ever played football and you walk into the football locker room, because at my school we had a locker room for PE and all that stuff, but then we had the football locker room.
Oh man, the one at my school was awful too. You walking like, God dog it.
Yeah, Jacque just says, imagine a musician thinking they killing because you making the stank face, but it's really because they actually stank. That's facts. Blake the Great said, y'all done got Damani started now. Listen, you guys have all experienced it, man.
Oh man.
Have you ever was having a great conversation with somebody whose breath smelled bad? It's hard to call it a great conversation because I'm just saying, bro. It's hard to call it a great conversation when their breath is literally beating you up.
Woo!
You feel like you leave the conversation feeling like you've been in a fight.
Man. And them is the ones that want to keep talking too.
Yeah.
You try to get out of it. They still egging it on.
Yeah, like Bill Cosby said, or the people who smell aight until they open their mouth. It's a problem.
Yeah.
Listen,
That part.
some people, never mind, I'm not gonna say that. Anyway, that's it. That's good. That's it, fam. We about to get up out of here. We'll catch you guys
I gotta eat something.
on Sunday. All right, come rock with us on Sunday, 2:00, man. We'll be back in here.
Hashtag all the way through.
As soon as we get done with our church gigs, man. We can call it that'll be our Sunday service for the podcast, right? Like Kanye got a Sunday service. We having our Sunday service here on the podcast. All right, man. We'll holla at y'all then, man. Peace out to the YouTube side. Holla at y'all on the next one.
Deuces.
Peace.